when we thought that home loan interest rates could not go down any further, Kotak Mahindra has announced a limited period festive home loan offer at 6.5%, slashing its own rates by 15 basis points. Now, if you've been thinking of buying or upgrading your home, should lower home rates in the months of Navratri, Dussehra and Deepavali spur you into action? And where should you go for the best home loan deal? Let's get the answers from Venkat K Narayana, CEO of Prestige Estates Projects, and Mr. Manish Shah, Managing Director and CEO Godrej Housing Finance. We also have with us Adhil Shetty, CEO of bankbazaar.com. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Very interesting times. Venkat, 1 lakh units plus have been sold between January and June this year. So there clearly seems to be a resurgence in demand. But is there any direct correlation between lower home loan rates and demand for homes?
Hi, Manish Shah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the all-time low interest rates that we are seeing. Compared to 10-12 years ago, when we thought those are the lowest rate that we could get to, and the 6.5% that we are referring to also, if you look at if husband and wife are working or taxpayers, depending upon what tax bracket they fall in and what kind of ticket size home they are buying, it can even come down to 4.5% if you give the tax benefits to that. So therefore, there is a direct correlation between buying of demand for homes and the home loan rates. Of course, the need for buying home also has increased given this pandemic. People are spending a lot of time at home and also wanting to upgrade or into the right sized homes for themselves. All these are desires, but enabling factor to go to that extra mile and actually buy has been definitely the low interest rate scenario that is prevailing as of now.
Right, Adhil, so it's 6.5%. Now, this is, of course, it's one bank and it has qualified that the offer is for new customers as well as existing customers who want to switch their home loans, but with a caveat, which is lowest rates for eligible borrowers only. Other borrowers may have to pay higher rates. What does this mean?
So, yeah, this is a great offer from Kotak. There are good offers running from a lot of the home loan lenders. Now, to qualify for the lowest rate offer, you have to fall within certain criterion, which is called the eligibility. That's why it's necessary every customer runs an online digital eligibility check, either on the bank side or on Bank Bazaar. I'll tell you 3 parameters which can either make you eligible for the lowest rate or not. So, firstly, your credit score. I've seen banks offer a 0.1%, 0.2% discount if your credit score is over 750 or 800. Secondly, your loan amount, right? So again, not every bank does this, but if you're taking less than 25 lakhs, more than 25 lakhs, more than 75 lakhs, banks sometimes differentiate rate by the loan amount. There are also special concessions for women borrowers. So if there's a woman borrower as part of the application, you get a 0.05% or a 0.1% discount. So all of this goes into establishing criteria, and Manisha, it's dynamic. It changes bank by bank, which is why a quick loan search online should tell the borrower where they stand.
So if you're saying it's dynamic, then let me ask you one question, because Kotak has been tom-tomming the fact that, we are going to actually give the 6.5% rate to even those who are transferring their existing home loans. Should the existing home loan borrower look at switching? And it's not that easy, isn't it? It's not a straightforward answer. So then tell me, what are the points that he should keep in mind if at all he's considering to switch?
Great question, right? And given that home loans are at the lowest they've been in 15 years, it's a question I think all borrowers are asking. I think it makes sense mostly to shift if you save money or save on EMI by shifting. So typically, if the loan balance is large, if the tenor of your loan is over half the lifespan, if you're getting a lower rate, right, if you're getting 0.5% lower by switching, if your credit score has improved, which makes you eligible for an even better rate, or if you're looking to move from an older benchmark, like the MCLR or base rate, to the new benchmark, which is the repo rate, all these are reasons to consider switching. But when switching, right, keep in mind 2 considerations. I'll give you the qualitative answer and we can back it up with an example. So the qualitative answer is calculate your saving, but also be aware there's a refinancing cost. So whether you're switching with your own bank or with a new bank, there is certain switching costs in your existing bank's case, it's a processing fee. In the new bank's case, it's a processing fee and a documentation fee. And if you are saving money, consider refinancing. And one tip, pro tip over here, if you get a lower rate, right, consider retaining your old EMI, because that will double your savings. So that's my view on this question.
That's a good view and very straightforwardly put for our viewers. Manish, now Godrej Finance is a new kid on the block, offering home loans in a very competitive market. It's intensely competitive now. So are you likely to follow suit and bring down your home loan rates?
Before I start, Manish, thank you for having me. It's great to be back on the show. It's been a while. We launched this business in November of last year. We launched in an intensely competitive market. It's been like this ever since we launched. So we never had a chance to take our rates up and lower them now. So, we are in the same ballpark, we're in the same range. But a couple of things, a little perspective here, right? I think headlines get grabbed very easily by headline rates. And without sort of going over the same points that Venkat and Adhil made, a little more perspective from our side. Firstly, if you look at it from a borrower's perspective, a 10 basis points, right, the difference between, let's say, a 6.6 and a 6.5 is like for a 10 lakh, for every 10 lakhs on a 20-year loan, that's like 60 rupee difference. Now, I'm not saying on a 30 lakh rupee loan, 180 rupees don't make a difference, but just putting that in perspective, 2 points I'd like to make. From a buyer's perspective, I think the overriding opportunity right now from a home buying perspective is it's not just rates, right? Over the last 20 years, affordability is the best it has ever been, this side of 2000. Rates are at the lowest we've ever seen. Property prices have been either rising very slowly or flat. And incomes, especially if you're in the professions not affected by COVID, incomes have been rising steadily, even if slowly. Mm-hmm. So when you combine affordability and the psychological impact that COVID has had in wanting to buy your own home, there's probably never been a time as good as this to buy, and you're seeing that reflected in demand.
So you're saying that 10 basis point or 15 basis point is probably not the reason why any borrower is going to shift. This is a great time to buy a home any which way.
I'd just add a point there, Manish, to throw that in. Is a lower rate an important thing? It absolutely is. Do all of us have to compete for the buyer's business? We absolutely have to. But just take that forward a little bit, right? Most buyers today have got lots going on as they put money down. A large number of buyers, buy homes under construction. So you've got a couple of other things you want to be looking at, both from an affordability perspective, so total cost of ownership, and the cash flow, especially at times where you've got to stay in one particular apartment and you're putting money down to buy. So it's a very interesting time. My sort of net message on this is it's a combination of what your interest rates are, what the product design on the loan is. How is your loan provider going to make it possible for you to buy the home? Can you start small, go high? Can you level off after a certain point? Can you increase your payments after you move into the house? So on and so forth.
All right. So you're saying that flexibility on payments, depending on what situation you are in, is probably Absolutely. An equally important aspect to consider. Venkat, I'm going to come back to you. Last week on the property show, we did the buy versus rent debate, saying that probably millennials are not that keen to own property anymore. But I've looked at a Bank Bazaar survey which says that Indians' obsession with housing continues, and you come from an IT city. All of you have been reporting great numbers of sales. So give me some profiling of the people who are your biggest buyers. Is it the younger ones between 25 and 35, or are we still looking at an older generation?
No, a lot of first-time home buyers for sure. That's a younger lot. And there are others who are upgrading from current home where they are staying to the bigger one and probably the better one, commensurate with their lifestyles. What has happened, Manisha, during this period is the decision making from home buyer has been fast. Earlier, if he was taking a lot of time to decide whether to buy a home or not, and they are taking those decisions very quickly now, and the conversion rates are also very high. If X number of 100 people are inquiring, and those who are doing site visits are almost 80% of them, And out of that, almost 60% of them are actually buying homes. So, time invested by sales guys to sell units, the return on time invested has been very high. So, across the board, we have plotted developments, we have apartments, villas, and we have golf mansions, which are luxury villas. Everything has been selling very well. That's how we reported last year highest sales that we have ever done. One of the other things that I want to mention is, though the home loans are for 15 years, 20-year period, and the home loans rates are dynamic and they keep changing. But psychologically, from a borrower point of view, home buyer point of view, it's a good time to start because they're entering at the low interest rate regime. Their eligibility of home loan is very high. So if they were able to afford earlier one bedroom, now because the home loan that they can get because the low interest rate is high, they can actually buy two bedroom. Who can want to buy can buy 3 bedroom. So that psychologically is playing out well. And we recently launched a project called Prestige City, which is the largest development that we are doing, plotted development. In one day, 808 plots all got sold out.
My God. So plotted developments I know are on fire, but the fact that you've reported highest ever sales last year is also telling in a story. Adhil, would you like to give me a quick reaction on, has the home loan borrower profile changed? Has it got a little bit younger or no?
So I think the desire for a home has only increased in the pandemic. With people in work from home, I think everyone realizes the importance of having a nice home. We've seen that home loan borrowers typically in Bank Bazaar tend to be, in their 30s and 40s. Okay. The average home loan size that people end up borrowing, we're seeing where it's about 25 lakhs if there's a male borrower, and if it's a woman borrower, we see it as go as high as 31 lakhs. This, in our survey, shows as the second most important financial goal of every Indian out there. So the first financial goal is the child's education. But the second thing people are saving for, right, is for their home. And like Venkat said, right, I think our bank partners at Bank Bazaar are saying the same thing. August and September are seeing higher home loan dispersal than in the pre-COVID period. So I think this is a really good time to be thinking about a home.
Home loan, and good time for new players like Godrej Finance, isn't it? Unfortunately, gentlemen, I have to wrap out now, but I think a couple of things which I'd like our viewers also to remember is that there is a CLSS upfront subsidy for first-time home buyer of about 2.7 lakh rupees. There are income tax deductions that you can claim, which was mentioned in the show, up to 2 lakh each, and principal repayment under Section 80C, 1.5 lakh each in their individual tax returns if it's taken as jointly by a husband and wife. Well, so rock bottom interest rates on home loans are always a good trigger for you to take the plunge on buying a home.